If you're looking for a book where the protagonist is in way over their head, they have no idea what they're doing, they're in a world they don't understand, have I got a book for you. Senlin Ascends by Josiah Bancroft. It's a phenomenal book. I got through it in about a week, and probably three main reasons. The story is great, the world building is phenomenal, and just the growth of Senlin in this story. And I want to tell you all about it. And at the end, I'll tell you why this really spoke to my heart. First off, the story, we have Senlin with his wife Myra. They're on their honeymoon and they're going to the Tower of Babel to explore and just spend the time there in the spas. Now, Senlin is this buttoned up school teacher who just loves rules and books and even more rules. And he's a scholar of the tower, and he's read every single book about it, every pamphlet. He just knows everything about it. And Myra's the opposite of him. She's like a firecracker. She loves to play piano in taverns, and she's just very chaotic to his buttoned up order. And when he and his wife arrive at the Tower of Babel, Senlin thinks he's the expert, but then he's blown away by what he doesn't understand. And just for a minute in the market, he turns his back and then he loses Myra in the crowd. She's gone and he can't find her. And he's walking around the market. He's like, I can't find my wife. And someone says, well, dum dum, everyone here is attached by a rope to their loved ones. Didn't you know? People go missing in this place. He didn't know that. And he finds out that many people go missing from the basement of the tower. And now he has to ascend the tower to find her. This is probably one of my favorite quotes that shows that Senlin is way out of his league. Let me show you. It was all so overwhelming, and for a moment, Senlin stiffened like a corpse. The bark of vendors, the snap of tarps, the jangle of harnesses, and the dither of 10,000 alien voices set a bass line of noise that could only be yelled over. Myra took hold of her husband's belt just at his spine, startling him from his gaze and goading him onward. He knew they couldn't very well just stand there. He gathered a breath and took the first step. You can see from the jump that Senlin is overwhelmed and that all his expertise, everything he's studied, all the travel guides, it's not going to work out for him. He's out of his league. So the story is basically, how is he going to ascend the tower? How is he going to find his wife? What does he have to do? How does he have to change? And what length will he go to find his wife? That's why I really dig this story. I am so mad about how good this world building is. Because as Senlin ascends the tower, each level is a different world that has to be somehow connected to the overall tower world. And each floor is creative and it's its own labyrinth for Senlin. How does he get in and then how does he get out to get to the next floor? So like the first floor is the basement. That's where, everything starts. It's this huge massive market where his wife gets abducted. Then the second is this strange parlor where people act parts, and to get to the next floor, Senlin has to get into that floor. But then how does he get to the next one? And the next one's the baths. That was his original destination. But if he gets there, how does he go up? And is his wife there? So each one is a test that really squeezes Senlin to change his manner, to get skills to get him to the next floor. So with the growth of Senlin, at first he thinks he's empty-handed, but he quickly starts to learn to adapt. He pulls on internal resources, things he knew from teaching, and when that runs out, he has to do the worst thing imaginable for Senlin. He has to depend and trust other people. And Senlin doesn't really like other people. But Bancroft bends and twists Senlin and forces him to change to find the love of his life. And he sets up the tower to be this device that's going to squeeze Senlin for all he's worth. And if he doesn't learn to adapt and quickly do what the tower demands of him to pass each floor to get to the next level, he'll lose his wife and be damned to search her forever. if you dig a great steampunk setting where you watch someone internally struggle, this is a great book. Now I have to warn you, the pace is a little slow. Like, it's a big book, but I'm gonna tell you, he does not get far. This is a book in four. There are four of these, so he doesn't get far up the tower, but he does make moves. He does make connections. The pacing is a little slow, but I really just enjoyed the world building. I enjoyed seeing the tower and getting, what it looked like. It helped me just really envision it there. So I just think there's some really great strength in how he describes the world. So you've got to like world building this. If you're like an action junkie and you just wanted to have a quick pace, not the book for you. But if you enjoy seeing the art of someone build a world that you want to get lost in, then Senlin Ascends is your ticket. I think this really touched my heart because Senlin has sort of the same problem that I do. I'll jump into a new situation, maybe it's a new job, a new country, a new project, a new relationship, and I'm like, I'm overwhelmed. I don't know what's going on. How does this work? And Senlin has the same problems I do. I have the same problems he does. And, he has to navigate it. And that's what I really liked about it. Like, hey, I've been lost too, not knowing what's going on. And Senlin kind of shows me, hey, we can make it. We just have to figure it out. So, yeah, that's why it touched my heart. So, that's my review of Senlin Ascends by Josiah Bancroft. So, that's it. If you dig this, please give this a like and follow, ring the bell, and I'd love to know what you've thought about this book in the comments. I publish a weekly newsletter. You can find that link if you want to find out what I'm currently reading and just things that I find that are cool.